Yesterday, we talked about one of the most invisible financial traps there is lifestyle inflation. How every raise, every bonus, every promotion gets silently absorbed by a bigger lifestyle, and how the person earning 120,000 can end up in a worse position than the person who earned $60,000. Same career, same decade, completely different outcome. Tonight, I want to zoom out because because everything we have talked about this week, emotional spending, lifestyle inflation, income versus wealth, it all comes down to one fundamental question, and most people have never been asked it. Let me ask you an honest question. Have you ever met someone who earns a very good income but still feels financially stuck? Not broke, not struggling, but stuck. Like the money comes in and goes out and nothing ever really changes. Maybe you've experienced this yourself. Good income, stable career, working hard, getting promoted, doing everything right on paper. But wealth still feels far away. Financial pieces, financial peace still feels like something other people have, and you can't figure out why, because the math should be working. It happens because income alone does not create wealth. It never has. And tonight, I'm going to show you exactly why. Discipline builds generational strength. But first, you need to see where your strength is actually going. Most people believe wealth comes from one thing, one single thing, higher income. So they spend years, sometimes decades, focused on one goal: get the promotion, get the raise, land the better job, start the side hustle, more income, more income, more income. And I'm not going to tell you that income doesn't matter. It does. You need money coming in. But here is what nobody explains: income is the raw material, it's not the finished product. Think about it like this: a chef gets delivered the finest ingredients of the world, premium steak, fresh vegetables, rare spices. But if that chef has no recipe, no technique, no structure in the kitchen, those ingredients get wasted, burned, undercooked, thrown together without purpose. Income is the ingredient, structure is the recipe. Without structure, the finest income in the world gets wasted. And something interesting happens as income grows. As income increases, expenses increases, lifestyle increases, financial commitments increase. We talked about this yesterday, but here is the part that's new tonight. It's not just the lifestyle absorbs the income, it's the people never stop to ask a more fundamental question: where is each dollar actually going? Not in general, not roughly, specifically, intentionally, by design. Because if you can't answer that question, it doesn't matter how much you earn. The money will always feel like it's disappearing, because it is, not into a black hole, into a path you never consciously chose. Tonight, I want to give you a framework: simple, clear, something you will remember long after this live ends. Because once you see this, you will start categorizing every dollar differently. There are only three paths money can take when it enters your life. Three, not 10, not 20, just three. Every single dollar you earn goes into one of these three places, whether you choose it or not. Path one, spending. This is daily life, bills, rent or mortgage, groceries, utilities, transportation. But it's also lifestyle, eating out, entertainment, subscription, clothes, convenience, comfort. Spending is necessary. You have to live. Your family needs a roof. Your kids needs food. Your car needs gas. Nobody is arguing against spending. The question is, what percentage of your income goes here? And whether that percentage is intentional or accidental. For most families, this path absorbs everything. Every dollar that comes in takes path one. It goes to life, to bills, to lifestyle, to stuff. And by the end of the month, there's nothing left for the other two paths. Not because the income was too low, because path one had no boundaries. Path number two, protection. This is this is one of the most path people skip entirely or think about later or plan to get to someday. Protection is what prevents one bad event from destroying years of progress. One illness, one accident, one job loss, one lawsuit, one unexpected event that nobody saw coming. Protection includes emergency reserves, money set aside that you don't touch unless life forces you to. Protection includes making sure your family is covered if something happens to you. Protection includes making sure your income has a backup plan. Protection includes making sure that structure your building can survive a storm. Without protection, everything else is fragile. You can earn well, you can save diligently, you can even start building wealth. But if one event can wipe it all out, you haven't built anything. You have built a house of cards and life will eventually blow. Protection is not exciting. Nobody talks about it at dinner parties. Nobody posts about their emergency fund on social media. But protection is the reason some but protection is the reason some families survive unexpected events, while other families earning the same income get destroyed by them. Path number three, growth. This is the one that changes everything. This is where your money stops working for today and starts working for tomorrow. Growth is positioning your money so that it compounds over time, so that it multiplies while you sleep, so that 10 years from now, 20 years from now, your money has been building something even when you weren't actually working. Growth is assets, growth is long term positioning, growth is the only path that builds future financial freedom. Let me say that once again because it matters. Path 1, spending, maintains your present. Path 2, protection, secures your present. Path 3, growth, builds your future. All three matters. But only one creates wealth. Only one changes your family's trajectory over decades. And it's the one that most people never fund because path 1 and 2 consumed everything before path 3 ever got a chance. Most people focus almost entirely on path 1. Some people understand path 2. Very few consistently, deliberately, month after month, build path 3. And that's the gap. That's the difference between earning a good living and building a good life, between having income and having wealth, between working hard today and being free tomorrow. So now you have seen the three paths: spending, protection, growth. Every dollar takes one of these three roads. The question is, who's deciding which road it takes? For most families, nobody is deciding. The money comes in and path one absorbs it by default. Bills are due, lifestyle is set, commitments are locked in. By the time the month ends, paths 2 and 3 got nothing. Not by choice, by default. And that's the real wealth gap in this country. It's not between people who earn more and people who earn less. It's between people who structure their money and people who don't. The difference between high earners and truly wealthy individuals is not income, it's structure. How money is organized, how money is directed, how money is allocated before it has a chance to disappear. Let me put numbers on this so it becomes real. Let's take two families, both earning 10,000 a month after taxes. Family A spending $9,500, protection 200, growth 300. They are surviving, barely protecting, barely growing. Most of their income is consumed by lifestyle and obligations. In 10 years, they will have some savings, maybe if nothing goes wrong. Family B spending $6,500, protection $1,000, growth 2,500. They live well, not extravagantly, but well. Their family is solidly protected, and $2,500 a month is compounding, growing, building quietly. In 10 years, family B hasn't just saved more, they've built a completely different financial reality. Their protection means unexpected events don't derail them. Their growth means their money has been multiplying while they live their life. Their structure means every year was better than the last. Same income, same city, same economy, same opportunities. Different allocation, different outcome, different generation. That's what structure does. It doesn't require more income, it requires more intention. The percentage doesn't have to be perfect. They just have to exist because any structure beats no structure every time. The wealthiest families I've observed didn't get there by earning the most. They got there by allocating the best, by making sure Path 3 growth got funded every single month, not with what was left over, with what was set aside first. That's the shift. Fund growth first, not last. Protect first, not someday. Live on what remains, not on everything that comes in. Reverse the order, change the outcome. Now I know what some of you might be thinking. This sounds simple, but it's hard to actually do, especially when life is expensive, especially when you have kids, especially when your income feels like it's barely enough for path one. I hear you, and here is what I want you to understand: wealth is rarely created through dramatic decisions. Nobody wakes up one morning, makes one heroic financial move, and transform their family's future. That's a movie, not real life. Wealth is built through consistent allocation, small amounts directed correctly, repeated for years. Every paycheck, something goes to protection, something goes to growth. Not a lot, something, even if it's $50, even if it is $100, the amount matters less than the habit. Every bonus, before lifestyle absorbs it, a portion gets allocated. Not all of it, a portion. Decide in advance, moved automatically before you can spend it. Every raise, half goes to structure, half goes to lifestyle, or whatever split works for your family. The point isn't the percentage, the point is that the split exists. Because here is what happens over time: $200 a month doesn't feel like much, but $200 a month every month for 20 years, that's $48,000 of raw contribution. And with compounding, with time doing its work, that number grows significantly beyond what you put in. Discipline quietly compounds over time. That's not a motivational quote, that's mathematics. Small amounts, consistently allocated, compounded over decades, create outcomes that feel impossible from where you are standing today. You don't need to be perfect, you don't need to be extreme, you need to be consistent. Month after month, year after year. No drama, no heroics. Just structure, repeated. Discipline builds generational strength. So, here is something I want you to sit with tonight. Not a lecture, not a homework assignment, just a question. When money enters your life, which path does it mostly take? Be honest with yourself. Not what you wish the answer was, not what you plan to do someday, right now, this month, last month. Is most of the money going to spending? Path one. Is that where almost everything ends up? Is some of your money going to protection? Path two. Is your family actually covered? Are, are your reserves actually built? Or is that still on the someday list? And is any of your money, any amount at all, going to growth? Path 3. Is anything compounding for your family's future right now? Or is path 3 still waiting for when I earn more? There is no wrong answer tonight. There's only an honest answer. And honestly, honesty is the foundation of every financial transformation I've ever seen. You cannot change what you refuse to see, but the moment you see it clearly, change becomes possible. Not someday, now. Awareness is always the first step, and you just took it. This is day six, 6 days of showing up, 6 days of building financial clarity. And if you have been here from day one, think about how much your perspective has shifted in less than a week. Day one, you learned that earning is not building. Day two, you separated income from wealth. Day three, you discovered that more money doesn't reduce stress, structure does. Day four, You have identified the emotional triggers behind your spending. Day 5, you saw the lifestyle inflation trap. And tonight, you now see the three paths every dollar takes. That's not small, that's a foundation. And we are just getting started. If conversations like this help you think differently about money, if you feel something shifting in how you see your finances, join me again. This isn't a one time event, this is a 30-day transformation. Type 30 days in the comments if you are building with me. I go live every day here at 9:08 p.m. CST. Money is not just about math, it's about it's about mindset, structure, and discipline. We don't chase money here, we build structure. Discipline builds discipline builds generational strength. See you.